This is the Chronicles podcast. This is the Chronicles podcast, where we inspire, nurture, and amplify kingdom voices in the media.
Hey family, welcome back to the 6th episode of the Chronicles podcast, where we inspire, equip, broadcast hope, and dig deep into how God is using and wants to use media in powerful redemptive ways. I am your host, Debbi, and this is part 2 of our series, Media, a Double-Edged Tool in God's Hands. If you are new here, welcome. And to our listeners, we say thank you for staying with us. Last week, we laid a very strong foundation. If you are yet to listen to last week's episode, I really don't know what you're waiting for. Last week's episode, we really do apologize because it was only available on our AudioMark platform and not on Spotify due to some glitch, but it has been restored and you can listen on both platforms, both Spotify and AudioMark. You really should listen to last week's episode. It was so resourceful. So we laid a very strong foundation. We asked, what is media? We saw that media is anything that carries a message, a book, a broadcast, a post, a person. Yes, even you and I. We are God's living letters, His carriers of truth, His message to the world. And now, we begin unpacking the acronym media. Today, we are diving into the very first and foundational part, M, which stands for message. Let me ask you this. What are you really saying? Whether through your words, your posts, your art, your silence, your style, or even your expressions, you are always communicating something. That is your message. You know, I sort of remember, I always tell my younger brother, right, there's this expression he always gives, even when you are not trying to communicate that particular thing, your expression says like a lot. So whether we like it or not, we are always communicating something, and that is our message. And as believers, our first responsibility in media, whether digital, spoken, printed, or lived, is to be intentional about our message. Guys, intentionality is key. Proverbs chapter 18 verse 21 says, "The tongue has power of life and death." You know, this means that our message can give life or it can tear it down. That is what makes media a double-edged tool in God's hands. It can heal or it can harm, build or break. It can inform or manipulate. Let's talk about Jesus, who is the ultimate message. Remember in our last episode when we said, Jesus is the Word made flesh. That wasn't just poetic. John was saying in the book of John chapter 1 verse 1, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." And verse 14 continues, "And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us." Jesus wasn't just the messenger. He himself was the message. His life, his love, his sacrifice, all of it was God's message to humanity. I am with you. I love you. Come home. So if we're going to use media in God's hands, we have to start by asking, what exactly is my life saying? What is my content saying? Is it pointing people to truth, to hope, to love? We need to really ask ourselves these questions. Now, let's be real here. We are in a world filled with mixed messages. Social media feeds us with highlight reels, fear-based headlines, divisive opinions, and so much noise. No, that is exactly why clarity of message matters now more than ever. Paul said in 1 Corinthians chapter 14 verse 8, if the trumpet does not sound a clear call, who will get ready for battle? In other words, if your message is not clear, people won't know what to follow, what to believe, or what exactly to do. We need to be very intentional with our message, whether in our ministry, in media, in business, or in life. It is not just about being seen, it is about being understood. What good is visibility without clarity? This is a very, very key question, because visibility is nothing without clarity. How is it that you are building visibility and people are not even clear about what exactly is it that you are doing? Now let's bring this home with a real world example. In branding and design, your brand message is everything. Companies spend millions crafting a clear and compelling message. You ask why, right? Because they understand that what people perceive is shaped by what you consistently say and how exactly you say it. Think about brands like Apple. Their message is not just, oh, we sell phones. Their message is about simplicity, innovation, and lifestyle. And because of that clarity, people don't just buy their product, they buy into the message. So whether you are designing a logo, you are building a website, or even writing a caption, you're not just creating content, you are shaping perception. That is how powerful message is. So let's pause and ask. You should ask yourself these questions. What is the message of my life? What is the message of my social media? We all have social media accounts these days. We have several accounts, and let's just ask ourselves, what exactly is the message of my social media? What is the message of my ministry or even my brand? Am I aligning my message with God's truth, or am I just echoing trends? Remember, not every loud voice has a clear message, and not every viral post is rooted in truth. Jesus was always clear. Even when he was countercultural, he didn't speak to impress. Jesus was not even interested in impressing anybody. He spoke to transform, and that is our model. So today, as we explore M in media, which means message, remember, first, your message matters. It matters a whole lot. Don't just think, I'll just post. Well, it doesn't really matter as much as I'm getting a lot of engagement, a lot of likes. No, your message really matters. Second, you are always communicating something, either by your words, either by your actions, either by the way you express. You are always communicating something, either positive or negative. And lastly, let your life speak the language of grace, of truth, and of love. In fact, this part on message is so very foundational and really rich that I'm even thinking we might just need a part 2. Or what do you guys think? Would you love to hear from a few voices in the media design space? Maybe invite a couple of brand experts, media professionals, or even content creators to talk about what message is in their world and why it is so important to get it right. Let us know in the comment section if you are up for that. Next week, we'll probably move to E, engagement, but if the feedback is very strong, we'll do a bonus episode first on this message piece with some guests. Either way, it's going to be real, it's going to be rich, and it's going to be relevant. But until then, ask God to help you refine your message, not just your word, but your witness. Thank you for spending this time with me on the Chronicles podcast. Next Sunday, we are diving into engagement. Well, depends on the response we get. It is either we are going to engagement or we are dwelling on the message. You really don't want to miss it. And remember, the Chronicles Media Conference is coming up on the 26th of July, as mentioned in our last podcast. And guys, the link for registration is up and it is right there in the comment section. You really don't want to miss it. So hurry up and register, and what? Prepare your heart, prepare your mind for a life-changing encounter. Until then, remember, you are God's living letter. Carry his message with purpose. Carry this message with clarity, with hope, and with love. This is Debbi signing off. Stay inspired, stay faithful, and keep broadcasting hope. Bye.
This is the Chronicles podcast, where we inspire, nurture, and amplify kingdom voices in the media.